96.7 KCAL rocks. After another big weekend, it is time to talk some sports with our guy, Pep. Pep, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Good morning. Patrick, how else can I put this? I'm a 49ers fan. You are a Seahawks fan. It was my 49ers coming out on top 27-7. But the big storyline was, Trey Lance going down with a broken ankle, so he's going to be out for the entire season. And lo and behold, Jimmy G back as the starting quarterback for the 49ers and led him to victory against your Seahawks.
I mean, how much of a genius move does this make the 49ers look like now? Because let's face it, let's say they did ship him to Cleveland or something like that. And then this happened. I mean, what would the 49ers do? It works out perfectly for them. I knew right away. I was like, I thought maybe we were going to stick in that game for a while because Trey Lance was trying to figure it out. The second that they brought in Jimmy G, you could just feel it. A different energy hit those red jerseys as opposed to those white jerseys, and they took over.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Obviously hindsight is perfect, right? But how did the 49ers know that we needed to have Jimmy G as a security blanket? Maybe not because of injury, maybe because they thought, well, Trey Lance might not be the guy, and we feel like this team is built for a playoff run this year, so we could always go back to Jimmy G if things fall apart. But, obviously you never want to see a guy step in and take someone else's job because of an injury. But I don't know, man. The 49ers bringing Jimmy G back on a super cheap contract, and now he's going to be the guy the entire season. Trey Lance, he's having surgery. He's done. He is not coming back this year. Jimmy G might step in. What if he leads him to a Super Bowl? Let's just say, what are you going to do now if you're the 49ers?
I think it's very possible, and I do think it's the latter in your scenario there where they weren't quite sure about Trey Lance. They knew it was good, but they don't know if he can put it all together. I think also Jimmy G's in, so there goes the offense. But also this needs to be mentioned, that defense is tough. And people, I don't think they realize that yet. The defense is very, very, very good. So now Jimmy G put some confidence in the offense. I think the 49ers are something to be reckoned with now.
Yeah, I think so too. And maybe it's just being a 49ers fan, a little biased, saying this. But yeah, I think just like last year, man, they're going to play great defense. They're going to run the football. They got Deebo Samuel, who does a little bit of everything. I think they're going to be a force. So I don't know. That's wishful thinking, I guess, as a 49ers fan on this Monday morning.
It's not, because I'm a Seahawks fan, and trust me, it's the last thing I want to say. But right when Jimmy G came in, I'm like, that just changed their season.
Oh boy, yeah, it sure did.
You could feel it too.
Yeah,
you're on both sides of it right away. It's like there's a different in the booth. They're like, there's a different energy now. They could feel it. It was very strange.
Yeah, so all of a sudden the 49ers look like a contender maybe in the NFC. And if you're a Rams fan, that's a little bit scary, especially in your own division right now. The Rams barely held on against the Atlanta Falcons yesterday, which Atlanta's not supposed to be that good, but the Falcons nearly came back and erased a big deficit. Jalen Ramsey with a big interception at the end to hold on to that win. Through 2 games of the season, the Rams underwhelming, Patrick.
I hate to say this because I know it's so cliche, but I really feel like the Bengals are going through the same thing. There is a Super Bowl hangover going on here. I think when you make it to the Super Bowl, whether you want to realize it or not, it takes a lot out of you. And I think the Rams are actually, to me, when you can sputter like that and still pull out a victory, I think that's a good sign for them. The Bengals, I think they're going to feel the hangover for the whole season. Yeah, they'll play good. I think the Rams this shows that they can recover, because you know me. I think if you can play like crap and still win, that's a great sign. I don't know what's going on with the running game. Cam Akers has completely disappeared. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. The Rams have some question marks. That's definite, as they move forward here. But you're right, pulling out a win against a lesser team. You're supposed to beat the Atlanta Falcons. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't have a lot of confidence in them. And then the Bengals losing to a Cowboys team without Dak Prescott. It's like, what is going on, man? This Bengals team doesn't have that mojo, that swag like they had last year.
Yeah, and then they're saying that Dak's injury may not be that bad. So Cooper Rush, hey, somehow, some way, you got one victory closer. You did your job so far, kid, so I give you props.
He did. He did his job. He might have to do it again. I think they got the Giants, this weekend, the Cowboys and Giants. So I don't know. We might see Cooper Rush again.
And he's got Micah Parsons. That guy is a terror.
Oh my gosh, on defense, Micah Parsons is a beast.
Oh.
If you're the Cowboys, maybe you're like, okay, Cooper Rush, man. He's actually not that bad. He's a good good backup quarterback we can plug in as a starter. Maybe we let him go against the Giants. I know, listen, the Giants are 2-0. I get that. But I'm not super scared about the Giants just quite yet. So maybe you run Cooper Rush out there one more week and say, okay, do your job one more week. That's another week for Dak to get better, and then we'll bring Dak Prescott back out onto the field.
Dare we say Mike McCarthy made a good decision in having a decent backup? And then also I heard that McCarthy wants to take over the play calling, which he partially did in this game. And look what happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the Cowboys are going to figure it out. It looked like last week it was all doom and gloom, and we were already looking ahead to next season. Like this season was already a wash, man. They were already throwing this one in the garbage bin. But no, maybe they can salvage this.
The ultimate week-to-week league.
Yeah. Cowboys had big hopes. Also, the Raiders, man. This was like the Raiders' year, right? Like they might actually dethrone Kansas City in the AFC West. Well, all of a sudden, the Raiders are 0-2. Heartbreaking loss to the Arizona Cardinals yesterday in overtime, 29-23 on a fumble return. Like, if you're a Raiders fan on this Monday morning, you must be miserable. And this was supposed to be their year, man. They got Devontae Adams. They were loaded up. They were going to knock off the Chiefs this year and be that team to beat. You're 0-2. 0-2 right now.
And a lot of people were laughing at the Raider fans' expense because they were way up. What was it, 24-7 or whatever it was? They were 24-3. They were way up, and it showed them in the end zone popping bottles and spraying champagne in the first quarter. And then, of course, when they lost, those memes were just going bananas.
Oh my gosh, man! Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a Raider thing. It used to be like a Cleveland Brown thing. Now I think it's turned into like a Raider thing when just things unravel on you. So. Not too good right now for the Raiders. Hey, Patrick, one more thing on the NFL. I do want to mention this. If you like good old American foosball, we got a doubleheader tonight on Monday Night Football. Usually we get one game. We get two games tonight. We get Titans and Bills. That's your first game at 4:15 local time right here in the IE. And then Vikings and Eagles at 5:30. Double foosball.
How do you like that? Now, see, this is a little double clutch by the NFL. Remember, they used to do the doubleheader on opening night. And then with September 11th and everything and all that, they figured that was too much. You can see how they kind of want to try to move the doubleheader to the second week when we're a little more ready for it, Pep.
Yeah, listen, I'll always take more football. I didn't, miss one game on Sunday, so if they want to stack up two on a Monday, that's fine with me. The only thing is, that first game is kind of an early start for here on the West Coast. Right. 4:15, kids are still getting home from school, or they got practices, we're getting off work, we're driving home.
I know it's not popular, but dare I stick up for the East Coast because I've been in New York City before watching Monday Night Football. They have to stay up
late at night.
Late. So to give them an early game for the East Coast,
I get that.
It kind of makes sense.
I get that for them. That's 7:15 kickoff. That's still like after dinner. You're settling in for the night. Like that's still kind of a late start for them out there. So I get that, and that the Bills are at home. Let's see, and the Eagles are home. Yeah, so two East Coast teams hosting this week on Monday Night Football. So I get all that. Yeah. So I'll take it, though. Any way I can get it, I'll take it. More football tonight. Yeah. And real quick, Patrick, college football over the weekend. Man, UCLA surviving against South Alabama, who I had never heard of until this week. But UCLA finding a way to beat them with a last-second field goal. Not impressive at all. But they are 3-0. But, yeah, the Bruins just, again, kind of underwhelming. Just not doing things.
It just feels like college football can be so hit and miss. The sputtering is happening in the NFL, and they've kind of had a warm-up to get going with I feel like they're thrown in the fire. Sometimes it just doesn't work, right? It's a chemistry thing. Watch next week. We may be really high on them. I don't know.
Maybe. And they're playing Colorado, who some people say Colorado might be the worst Power 5 team in the country. Like you take the Big 5 conferences, they might be the worst team of those 5 conferences. So if UCLA can't manhandle Colorado, then maybe there is a deeper, more serious issue that UCLA might not be the team that we thought. And Patrick, I said right here on this show that I thought UCLA might be the best college football team in Los Angeles before the season started. I look way wrong after USC hammered Fresno State on Saturday night.
Yeah, USC looks like they're coming together, don't they? Yeah. Caleb Williams is special. He is.
He is. And Travis Dye, one of the running backs, he's a Norco high school guy, a transfer from the Oregon Ducks. He went over for 100 yards, and he had a highlight trending on Twitter on Saturday night because it was just, they called it a grown man run, man. He was just throwing guys to the side and spinning around guys, and UCLA looks great, right? USC looks great right now, and UCLA does not. They're going in opposite directions, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yep, and finally, one more quick baseball note for everybody out there, Patrick. A couple of big milestone home run numbers coming up for not only Albert Pujols, chasing 700 home runs. He had a couple more home runs, so he's at 698 right now on this Monday morning. And Aaron Judge of the Yankees, we talked about the American League MVP race with Shohei Ohtani, but Judge at 59 home runs, and he's chasing that magical 61 of Roger Maris.
Isn't that wild that we got the single season, or at least the Yankee record kind of thing going on? And then we also have someone approaching 700 home runs. It's a very cool thing. I mean, we talked about this earlier. Is Pujols going to make it to 700? It really looks like it, doesn't he? So if he gets to 700, I know we talked about this before. Does Pujols hang it up?
It depends. I mean, he's with the Cardinals. The Cardinals can make a playoff run. Maybe he gets to 700. He comes back. Hey, I can DH another season or so. But yeah, if he could get 700 this year, that'd be pretty special. Same thing for Judge. If he can get to 61 and counting, like even surpass that, maybe there might be some Yankee fans who don't like that because they want Roger Maris to have that record. But we'll see.
I'm thinking if Pujols' wife wants him to retire, he's going to retire, especially if he gets 700. So it works out for the family, works out for him. I could definitely see that. But, Pep, that's why they play the game, right? Well, we have to wait to see what happens in the NFL, in college football, and in baseball. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, just don't let Pujols' wife talk to Gisele Bündchen about retirement, right? Get my stuff on Inland Sports, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Head over there right now and hit that subscribe button. That's Inland Sports.
Thanks, Pep.